What's up? Back here with the Transfer Portal CFB presented by NoContextCFB. Today we're going to be talking NFL draft, of course, and we're going to be talking about 5 sleepers that you need to get familiar with before the draft starts in a few weeks. Yeah, so the first one I'm looking at, we're actually looking at a guy from Missouri Western. I know not too many people are familiar with the Griffs, but we're going with Sam Webb, cornerback from Missouri Western. He's 6'1", 202 pounds, 39 career pass breakups, 7 interceptions, highlighted by a nice 99-yard pick six back all the way in 2017, which will tell you he is a bit of an older prospect, but that's okay. He's got a 39.5-inch vertical and a 4.48 40. So you love to see those two things really jump off the screen. Really helps tell you that he's a fantastic athlete. He has incredible leaping ability, and that's, again, evidenced by that vertical. And he just showed off at the combine with a really slick acrobatic grab that got some love on Twitter. He's a very vocal leader, displays a very high IQ. The thing I love most about Sam Webb is that he's so good at timing when he's jarring balls loose that would normally be completed, but he's jarring them loose and he's forcing incompletions. And we see that with the 39 career pass breakups, right? He's very physical in that aspect of the game. He's got, some of those key traits that you're looking for in any player. And you could find him on day 3 and maybe hit on this kid from Missouri Western. It's not too out there. It's a lot more common than people think, right? There's a bunch of cornerbacks and players at any position in the NFL that come from small schools that weren't expected. And I mean, you're going to see what the other 4 guys will talk about. Again, small schools for the vast majority of them. But I think, to me, Sam Webb at 6'1" with 4.48 speed, incredible vertical. I'm looking at this kid and seeing the traits, those traits, and knowing that he's just a feisty cornerback that knows what it's like to jar a ball loose, force an incompletion, play with that swagger, that confidence. He's there in the 6th round. I'd be thrilled to select Sam Webb and really try to strike gold on a day 3 pick. So Sam Webb from Missouri Western is my first sleeper. What do y'all think of that? All right, let's hop over to the offensive side of the ball for my only offensive draft sleeper. I know it's nuts. I usually have so many, but there were just some guys that I really couldn't fit in here. Some of them were just too old, and when you're almost a 25-year-old wide receiver, I kind of have to overlook you. It's not your fault, but so there's some guys I really had to leave out, and we're more so prioritizing the defensive side. But for here, again, running back, offensive guy, Pierre Strong Jr., South Dakota State. You all know how I feel about him. Video from, a month ago, right before he exploded at the NFL Combine, got a video out on him. And he is my RB1 in the class, which is outrageous to say, isn't it? I know it is outrageous. You see Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker, as well as some other running backs, and you understandably, are intrigued by them and coveted by them. But for me, the 5'11", 207-pound running back from South Dakota State playing in the MVFC, that's who I'm enamored with. And I do believe he's the RB1. He had a dominant FCS career, right? For 4 seasons, he dominated, 631 carries, 40 rushing touchdowns, no fumbles lost. How about the fact that he was 9 for 9 throwing the ball for 5 touchdowns? That intrigue you? I know some teams need a quarterback. I know Baker Mayfield's on the market. He's not highly sought after. Maybe a team goes and gets Pierre Strong Jr. a quarterback instead of Baker Mayfield, right? But this is a kid that has torched defenses and in absurd fashion. We're talking 14 yards a carry in 2018, 12.1 in 2019, 9.4 in 2020, and then dipped to 7 in 2021. But those numbers are still outrageous, even though they're consistently dipping, right? It's hard to sustain 12 yards per carry. That's outrageous. But this is a kid that has great top end speed and acceleration. And look, he ran a blistering 4.3740 at the combine. And I was so happy for him. That is a lifelong dream come true, all because of how fast he ran the 40. And I'm thrilled for him. It put him on the map. More people know about him now. Good for him. I'm really glad that he ran that. Not as much of as a hidden gem as I would have liked him to be now that he's on the map, but he's still a sleeper because I still think he's RB1, right? Just the one thing that stands out to me is his frame that he plays with, and he runs with the purpose, ferocity, his violent cutting. He's so decisive. He sees what's in front of him and he knows exactly what he wants. He's going to go out there and do great work. Home run hitter with 10, yes, 10 rushing touchdowns of 50 plus yards in his career. Does that not get you excited? You're lying if that doesn't get you excited, straight up. He's elusive. He's tough to tackle. And he's just got the ideal build. And I think one thing you're going to see is he's a much better pass catcher than anybody realizes. He just really is. He's a very good pass catcher. And he's going to show you all that at the next level. Texas are out of the backfield with the linebacker on them. Good luck. Good luck. Pierre Strong Jr., invest in him. Invest in him. This guy is going to be a very good NFL running back. Up next, guy we interviewed over here on the Transfer Portal CFB podcast. It's Joshua Williams, cornerback from Fayetteville State. Like I talked about with Sam Webb, he was a corner that is intriguing for the traits he possesses. Williams, on the other hand, has even more traits that you want to invest in with the day 3 pick. You have to. I think this is a guy that goes potentially in the 4th round, early 5th. I would not be surprised at all if he goes in the 4th round. I know that would surprise a lot of people. Joshua Williams is the name to watch. 22 passes defended in his career, 5 interceptions. Also had a pick 6 back in 2021. He ran a 4.5340 at the combine, which for 6'3", 195, all in. That's so good, everything. But what I really want to showcase here or really dive in at, right, is 4.5340 doesn't translate to game speed. This is a guy who at the Senior Bowl runs 21.75 miles per hour at the Senior Bowl. That was a whole mile per hour faster than Christian Watson. And we know the 40 time Christian Watson ran, right? So for Williams to run a slower 40 time, but be faster than him in game really goes to show you shouldn't be putting all your stock into the combine 40 in the pro day 40s. Like it's great to see these blistering times, and I love to talk people up because of it. But Joshua Williams is faster than 4.53. We know his game speed is just much faster than 4.53, right? He has great length and size to bother his competition. Things are not easy for the competition that's going up against him. And again, he did play lower competition, which could be bad for him because it could take him a little while to get acclimated to the NFL level. I like this kid though, and I really think he's going to get his opportunity to shine and be a potential CB2 or CB3 in this league. Very good body control, exquisite footwork. His ability to recover is super strong. I love, again, competition tough here, so we'll see if he can do it in the NFL at any level. I think he will be. His ability to bait quarterbacks into poor throws and make them pay for it, very strong feature of his. And yeah, this is someone that you shouldn't overlook. I highly recommend you go watch our interview with Joshua Williams. He's a great kid, funny guy. Just wish nothing but the best for him. I think he's going to be a pretty good NFL player and carve out roles for himself and make some good money, make a lot of people happy. If your team drafts Joshua Williams from Fayetteville State, just know you're getting a really hardworking and funny kid that's ready to grind and become a force to be reckoned with. I highly suggest getting acclimated with Joshua Williams and seeing what he's all about. He is truly a draft sleeper. We're going over to Miami for this one. Miami of Ohio, my bad, fellas. This is Miami of Ohio defensive player, we'll call him Sterling Weatherford. I wrote about him coming into the season, and I was very pleased with what I saw from him this season. I am ever so happy with his pre-draft process too, because we know the one thing about Weatherford is his versatility, which I'll touch on more shortly. His versatility super strong. You saw him really play everywhere, right? And in his career at Miami of Ohio, 209 total tackles, 10 and a half tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 19 passes defended, 4 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. Stat sheet stuffer. Now let's touch on that versatility because he's entering the NFL as a safety and or a linebacker. At Miami of Ohio, we literally saw him lined up everywhere except for nose tackle. Yeah, he was lining up off the edge rushing. He was lining up at linebacker, sub linebacker, dime, straight up cornerback, high safety, box safety, whatever it be. Sterling Weatherford was there to play that role aside from nose tackle. And that's just like, how do you not get excited about that? Because we got excited about that for so many other prospects, right? Most notably Isaiah Simmons entering his draft year out of Clemson. So Sterling Weatherford, so Sterling Weatherford, while he doesn't hold that same big school presence, he's a big time player that's worth betting on with a day 3 pick. This is someone that I think will slip in the draft because teams are going to be completely kind of unsure of how they want to utilize them, and that could hurt them. Like, a team could go and they say, we really kind of like him at safety, but linebacker might be better suited for him, and we just don't want to invest. And the next team could be like, wow, we love the versatility, the level of competition faced. We don't really want to bother with for a guy that could be seen as a tweener. And we're not sure where to play him, so we're going to pass, and that could just happen a few times too many, and then that's where a fall happens, and then that's where you get and you scoop up some really good value for a 6'4", 225-pound defensive goon. I don't care where he plays in the NFL, because if he's playing linebacker, he's a frightening force on linebacker. Try taking advantage of mismatched nightmares with your running back running routes on 6'4" former safety Sterling Weatherford at linebacker. You're not seeing many tough Borland moments with Sterling Weatherford at linebacker, right? Like, I'm all in Sterling Weatherford. I have been all year. He ran a 4.6 40. He's got phenomenal awareness and high football IQ, which is suggested by how many different positions he could play. He's an absolute, think about this too. If he becomes, even if he doesn't become like a great NFL player, he's still a unique talent that you have to game plan against. And it could be like he could be a pest to game plan against, right? He could be really annoying to game plan against for quarterbacks or running backs, receivers, whatever it be. So I mean, I have so many good things to say about him and all these other guys I'm talking about. Long arms, strong footwork, goodness. And I mean, again, he needs the strong footwork for where he plays everywhere, but golly, man. He takes sharp angles to the ball carrier too, which I love. Superb tackler. While I don't know what position he's going to play in the NFL, I would play him at. I'd probably play him at linebacker. Honestly, I getting really excited thinking about Sterling Weatherford playing linebacker in the NFL. I don't know where he's going to play in the NFL. All I know is this is a guy worth betting on with a day 3 pick. People are sleeping on him. And he is someone that is going to have a really fun NFL career, whether it be extremely successful or mildly successful. You're a day 3 pick and people aren't sure what position you're going to play, and you carve out a successful role, whether it's as a starter or a backup. Career made. Like, you got the money, good for you. There's a lot of prospects that get drafted and don't become anything. So I just don't want to hear the hate if Weatherford or any of these other prospects doesn't become something crazy. I think Sterling Weatherford's going to be a good player though, and he's worth investing in. I'm excited to see who takes him. I really am. The versatility he has is really unmatched, and a lot of teams are going to be making mistakes when they pass up on Sterling Weatherford in day 3 of this draft. Mistakes will be made. Last prospect that we're going to be talking about today, last sleeper, I kid you not, just had him on an hour ago for an interview that's going to be on our channel. So check it out. Coastal Carolina. It's Jeffrey Gunter, edge rusher from Coastal, 6'4", 258, 169 total tackles in his career, 38 and a half TFLs, 17 sacks, 9 forced fumbles. Again, just interviewed him. We were talking, and he was talking to me about how him and his teammate CJ Brewer always combined for sacks, and they were both so not like jokingly annoyed, right? They were so jokingly annoyed about how they were stealing each other's full sack and they were only getting half a sack. So maybe you should have more than the 17 sacks, but a really good person. You also check that interview out for sure. Heck of a person. Can't wait to see where he lands. 4'7", 40, 35 and a half inch vertical, 10'2" broad jump. So yeah, it's safe to say he impressed a lot of people at the NFL Combine, right? My favorite thing about him always has been is the elite motor that he plays with. He never stops working, 110% on every single down. Heck, 300% on every single rep. We saw it when he went after Zach Wilson in that highly regarded game against BYU, and at the end of the half. Just go watch that if you haven't seen him. Maybe we'll get a clip of this on here, but dude, his motor is nuts, and the motor is what's going to really help him get on the team, make a team, stick with the team, and get on the field and produce. He has great burst coming off the edge. He's really a quarterback's worst nightmare. I'll spoil it. The QB he wants to sack most in the NFL is, you might guess it, it's Tom Brady. He really wants to sack Tom Brady, and he's really excited to go up against Trent Williams. I don't think he's scared of anybody. This guy wants to go in there and compete. He's committed to becoming one of the best players in the game. We'll see if he can do that. I think he might think I saw him short. I think he's going to be a really good edge rusher in the NFL. I think this is a guy that's going to carve out a role as a pass rushing specialist at the very least. And he's going to make a good amount of money in the NFL, provide for his family, make a lot of people happy. You're going to see him have more success in that pass rushing role than run stuffing role. But once you get in with NFL coaching and training and everything, and you're going to see a beast is born. Oh, I fear for NFL QBs getting hit by this kid off the edge. I fear for him. Jeffrey Gunter, I think, is a guy that will go in the early 4th round. I think NFL teams are going to fall in love with not only his talent and the traits he possesses and the potential pass rushing nightmare he could be, they're going to fall in with the kid that Jeffrey Gunter is. I can't say enough good things about him. Tremendous guy, super funny. He'll carve out a successful role in the NFL and plenty more, trust me. Also, special teams outside, he's blocked a few kicks in his career too, and that also gets you on the field in addition to the high motor. Jeffrey Gunter is there, early round 4. If I'm you watching this video right now, remember in a few weeks to tweet your favorite team to draft Jeffrey Gunter. I know the social media person might not have as much pull as you think, but speak it into existence, right? And get Jeffrey Gunter on your team. He's going to be a really good player. I really enjoyed putting together this list of my 5 favorite sleepers in the 2022 NFL draft. I know some of these guys some of them are up there and known, like Pierre Strong, but some of them are pretty under the radar, like Sam Webb and Joshua Williams. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. We have so much more content coming out, especially when college football season comes around. Draft coverage is just a second gig for us. College football season comes around, we are working hard. Please let me know too if you have any recommendations for our channel to do, whether it be videos, streams, articles, memes to make. We'll get on it. We'll do whatever y'all want. And comment your favorite draft sleeper, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 below. Let me know. And I'll catch you on the next video. See ya.